Mute.
Wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. So inshallah we'll continue in tafsir surah Jinn. Yeah, inshallah we starting today. Starting from ayah number 8, yeah. And before I describe about this ayah,
in 1002, if you want to invite from West Ramp to Seattle.
A summary what we discussed last week. So Surah Jinn was revealed when Rasulullah SAW, he was came back from Taif, and he was very was injured and tired, hungry, and he was alone and he was reading Quran. And then a group of jinn came and listening to his recitation, right? But Rasulullah didn't know. So this surah, Allah explained to Muhammad SAW, look, when he was there, a group of jinn came and listening to the Quran, and also to entertain him. It means if people of Taif reject you, Makkah also expel you, don't worry. There's another Christian, they would like to listen the Holy Quran. Yeah. Then we describe about that jinn, they eat, they drink, they live with us, you know, different type of jinn and so on and so on. Right. So now the after the jinn have conversation with other jinn, now Allah tell us about, you know, there's a custom jinn used to do, and that jinn used to go to up and listening to the conversation between Allah and the angel, and then listening, and then they send that to the fortune teller or magician, right? So this is the ayah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وأنا لمسنا السماء فوجدنا مليت حرسا شديدا وشهبا.
And we have sought to reach the heaven, but found it filled with powerful gods and burning flames. This group of jinn said that such eavesdropping to which they refer was no longer possible. When they tried it, they found the way blocked by mighty gods and shooting stars aimed at them, indeed killing them. They declared that they know nothing about the prospect determined for mankind.
So in ayah number 8, Allah SWT mentioned that when a group of jinn used to go up. So again, the jinn have power to fly and speed like light, because from here to heaven is not easy, right? So now it said every time they tried to go up, the heaven was guarded by many angels, and the angel looked like ready was shooting, right? So anytime they try, so jinn, you know, there is a full of God there, full of angel, but sometimes they try sneakily. So Allah shoot them with the fire, right? So what for they went there is to try to find any information that Allah SWT planned on give to the others, you know, talk about us. So therefore, why sometimes the magician, full of terror, you come to them and they know about you, right? You know what happened in the past. I said, how did he know that? Right? But only maybe he know 2, 3. but because it's correct, so then people believe in them. But 90% always lying. Yeah. And we learn from here also that the jinn have a capability to hide from the angel, because jinn is not like us. Their physics is like energy. Like, so if I'm going to hide from someone, I have to go to like behind the wall, behind the tree. But the jinn didn't need it. Right? How do we know? Because this is the next ayah Allah is explained. وَإِنَّا كُنَّا نَقْعُدُ مِنْهَا مَقَاعِدَ لِلسَّمْعِ فَمَنْ يَسْتَمِعِ الْآنَ يَجِدْ لَهُ شِهَابًا رَصَدًا.
And we used to sit therein in positions for hearing. But whoever listens now will find a burning flame lying in wait for him. This suggests that in the period that preceded the revelation of God's final message, perhaps in between it and Jesus' message, the jinn used to try to reach up to heaven to eavesdrop on the angels and their discussion of their assignments with respect to the affairs of God's creatures on earth.
Yeah, so he said, wait a minute, what's going on, man? So that means jinn have special place, special gathering that angel didn't know. They're strictly there and they're listening, right? But now even that area was under God, and anytime they try, they was shooting, right? And before we go further, I would like also just to share what we left last time, right? Number one, that jinn eat and drink like us. You know, they eat also sometimes our food. Yeah, how do we know that? Rasulullah said, do not eat with the left hand or drink with the left hand, because jinn, shaitan eat with the left hand. That means what? Jinn, shaitan eat with the left hand, right? And do not use bone, you know, for istinja, to do number one and you clean it, because that's the food, right? It said when you enter your house, don't forget to say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Assalamu alaikum. Because if you say that, then the jinn, shaitan will tell his friend, man, khalas, we cannot join their food, we cannot join, you know, with them, right? So also jinn have different levels, right? Some jinn may be like very high level, right? They call it ifrit, because Sulaiman alayhi salam, one day he collect all of his soldier among the jinn, the animals, the shaitan, you know, who can bring the palace, right? And this is not only a small palace. Remember the Hopi, when they went there, I said, man, this lady have Arshun Azim, have a great throne. Who can bring it? وَقَالَ إِفْرِيتٌ مِّنَ الْجِنِّ. Ifrit from jinn. Look at the name, Ifrit. So therefore, in Arab country, when the boy, you know, is stubborn, you listen to the father said, you are Ifrit. They call Ifrit. So Ifrit, imagine that. Sulaiman is in Palestine, and the palace where? In Yemen. This may be 3 hours by plane, right? But remember that jinn, when they transform, right, matter into energy, it's not like what you think. That means you don't see the throne was moving. Oh, look at that. No. Suddenly you see it there, right? I remember when I was in Olympia, you know, before I have my twins, there is a room on the first floor. Nobody stay there. because only me and my wife. You know, said if you have big house and this room, nobody stay there. Sometimes shaitan or jinn like to stay there. So then my brother came and he stayed there. So sometimes he was sleeping on his bed, but the next day he was in sofa. You know, who can carry him? Right? Even when my mother-in-law was there, she not sleeping, but she was also shocked because suddenly, because she didn't see the moving of it. Yeah, that's how the power Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give to this creation, right? So also jinn have a speed limit of light and energy. And mean physically, and when it comes to the ability to go up and flying and changing, it is stronger than men, right? But jinn also is like human being, is mukallaf. That means they have to pray, they have to fast, they have to go hajj, right? The same like us. They have to do the 5 pillars. They have to do shahada, right? Because Allah SWT said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I created not jinn and men but to worship me. Even if you put jinn first, right? Also, different type of jinn, they like to stay in different places. For example, the rebellious, the evil jinn, they like to stay in the place with a lot of Arabic called najasa, impurity. So like restroom. So therefore, while Rasulullah said, when you enter restroom, you say what? Allahumma inni a'udzubika minal khubuthi wal khuba'ith. I seek refuge from male and female. But the word khubuth, Allah called this jinn called khubuth. From the word khabitha, mean evil, mean yucky, something yucky, right? So therefore, why it's not allowed to pray in restroom, to pray where the animals stay there, because the animal, they just do number 2, number 1 as they like, right? So that's najis. At the same time, also there's a jinn there, shaitan. Jinn like to stay in the place when the light is on and off, like disco. They like it, this place, right? And also, jinn have long life. You know, youngest jinn might be 500, 400 years old. Because there's a jinn came to Rasulullah SAW, he took shahada. So every prophet came, the jinn renewed the shahada. Right? And said, Ya Rasulullah, I was there when the flood happened during the Nuh time. So how old he is now? Another one said, Rasulullah, I was young when the Musa split the ocean. That means more than 2,000 years now. Right? And they're still there. And the jinn also have family. Jinn have cousin, have niece, father-in-law, mother-in-law. They marry like us. And also they have a lot of children. Said more than us. But they don't need space like us. Right? Because like they are like energy. That's in the Quran. Allah SWT said, Laqad istaktartum. You are have high number than human being. Right? Also jinn have, like us, have different faith, different religion. There's Jewish jinn, the Christian jinn, Hindu jinn, Buddhist jinn, right? So therefore, in the church, there's many of Christian jinn. In synagogue, Jewish jinn. In temple, we have many Hindu jinn, right? In masjid, Muslim jinn. I remember last time, my father went to the masjid. He going to pray tahajjud there, and then he heard somebody like making wudu. But when he turned on the light, there's nobody there. But he see the water is moving, because before wudu like this, right? Who are they? He said it's jinn. Yeah. Also, what the language of jinn, you know, is human being language. That means jinn who grew up in America, they speak English. In Japan, they speak Japanese, right? They speak Bengali. They speak all language, whatever language. I remember Sheikh Amin, one day somebody came to him, he was possessed by jinn, right? But it was Mexican jinn. So that means, you know, when jinn possesses somebody, that person suddenly speak language he didn't know before. Right? Maybe the jinn come from Mexico, visit his friend here, so he not learn English yet. And brother, so I mean, as translator. But it was funny. I was laughing because, you know, when you talk with jinn and then somebody translates and all this, yeah. Maybe there's this movie in America. It's 3 movies that called Emily Rose. I think I heard before. Yeah, that's why when the girl suddenly speak different language. Yeah. And jinn also have different tribes, right? Different tribe, different party. You know, some maybe Republican, some Democrat, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, because in the Quran said, when the jinn came back, he said, Qalu ya qawmana, oh my people. So the group of jinn who met Rasulullah SAW, listening to Quran, they came back to who? To their tribe, not to all tribe of jinn. Yeah, yeah. And some jinn, they tried to come to Rasulullah to bother him when he was praying. You know, this will be higher level of jinn, because how you come to Muhammad SAW. You know, the story from the hadith, Rasulullah was praying like this, Allahu Akbar. And suddenly he sang like this. Sahaba can see. And like this. So after pray, Rasulullah, we're sorry now. I saw you like, was praying. He said, yeah. He said, jinn appeared to me and tried to bother me. So I shocked him, right? And his sliver come to my hand. And then he said, I intend to tie him up in the pillar of the masjid. And then I remember the dua of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. Sulaiman asked Allah, Allah, give me a power, a kingdom that you never give to people before me and after me. So I don't want to compete with Sulaiman. Look at the humbleness, right? Yeah. And jinn can transform into anything, but Rasul mentioned most of jinn transform into 3. Snake or black dog, have red eyes. Yeah, I think last week we mentioned about, Rasulullah mentioned that in Medina, a lot of Muslim jinn, you know, jinn become Muslim, and then they sometimes transform in the form of snake. Because sometimes jinn need to eat, and to eat certain food need how to transform first. You cannot eat directly. Yeah. So therefore, Rasulullah said, if you see a snake in Medina, don't just kill it. Say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim 3 times, and then if there's jinn, they will leave. Right? Some jinn in the form of human beings, some of them come to you, you know, and we don't know. But you know, jinn, when they transform into other entity, a snake or dog or human being, they don't take long. They're scared. So for example, jinn become human being and bothering you, they will disappear. Because when they become human being and you have gun and you shoot him, they can die. So therefore they are very fast, they don't take long. Right? And some jinn, Rasulullah, they're just flying in the sky, nothing to do with us. And it's a lot. Right? So the jinn who are dealing with us, not a lot, but there's something they like to bother us, right? And jinn also have different fiqh. We don't know what the fiqh, because, you know, do jinn have to do the clean after they do number 1, number 2, you know, how they make wudu, we don't know. But they have fiqh that belong only to jinn, right? So why we need to explain this about jinn, because a lot of people sometimes they're scared of jinn. Knowledge is very powerful. Knowing all of this is to tell us, number one, that we are higher than jinn. Yes, jinn is higher than us when it comes to speed, to the power. When it comes to intelligence and wisdom, jinn lower than us. So therefore, why Allah asked jinn or Iblis to bow down to Adam? Because Adam have knowledge, right? So 99%, when you see something, it's not jinn. Sometimes people at night, you hear the voice, maybe it's a door, man. You need to put the oil. I said, oh, jinn. One day I was walking and then windy, and then you see the tree was, they clapping one another. Oh, jinn. No, this. Yeah. So therefore, why Rasulullah give us how to prevent us from the temptation of jinn? Number one, always say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim before you eat, before you sleep, before you enter the house, right? Make lot, a'udzubillah, isti'adha, a'udzubillah syaitanir rajim. So Rasulullah give us weapon. When you're angry, say a'udzubillah syaitanir rajim, right? Also, don't scare. Because when you scare, jinn, shaitan, they are happy. So one day a woman, her camel was suddenly brutal, up and down like this. And he cursing, you are shaitan. So don't say that. Because by saying you are shaitan, the jinn become proud. Oh man, look at, I defeat her. When you say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, he becomes small. He cannot do nothing. Right? And also, when something happened, this book because of shaitan. Shaitan happy. Because of me, look at right? No. Shaitan became arrogant. Yeah? Also, yes, it is true. Jinn, shaitan, they come to us, especially when you sleep. Yes, sleep, or mostly, they're bothering us in sleep. So therefore, why it is very important before you sleep, you have read certain, read Qul Ahad, Falak, An-Nas, Ayat Kursi, right? So it's all him. And also when you leave the house, don't forget to make dua. Bismillah, tawakkalullah, wala hawla, wala quwwata illa billah. It's very important, right? Also adhan, jinn, if free, when they hear adhan, they run. And the paskals, reading Quran, this include also can prevent us from this, So there's some information, but in any way, we are intellectually, when it comes to wisdom, knowledge, is higher than jinn. And jinn happy when we are fear them, we scare them, وَأَنَّا لَا نَدْرِي أَشَرٌ أُرِيدَ بِمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ أَمْ أَرَادَ بِهِمْ رَبُّهُمْ رَشَدًا.
And we do not know, therefore, whether evil is intended for those on earth or whether the Lord intends for them a right course. They clearly declare that they have no access to such information because it is part of God's own knowledge. When the very source of the soothsayers claim to receive the very special information, form declares that it has no such knowledge, then nothing more can be said.
Yeah, so jinn didn't know what's going on. What happened? Why is it difficult now to go to the heaven to listen to dialogue between Allah and the angel and many things? Right? It is for good thing or bad thing. They're not clear for them. They didn't know. Right? But here the jinn, very interesting. He have also some etiquette. Right? So if you notice the way the jinn said, and we do not know, therefore, whether evil is intended for this on earth, or whether their Lord intended for them right a cause. When evil didn't put, there is no word Lord, right? Did not refer evil to Allah. When good refer to Allah. So therefore, Rasulullah used to make dua, وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ إِلَيْكَ, evil not belong to you. And look at Ibrahim alayhi salam, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. One day he make like a dua, yeah. He said that Allah who created me, who feed me, who give me water, you know, who guide me in all this, always Allah refer. But they said, and then he said, when I am sick, wa idha maritu. He just said, when Allah make me sick. He said, when I'm sick, Allah cure me. But before what? When Allah created me, and Allah feed me in all this, right? So therefore, this is adab, never contributes the evil to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? This is the adab how the jinn put it the word. Right? So therefore, the jinn didn't know what's behind this. Right? Until they meet Muhammad SAW and listening the Quran. Then he know, oh, okay. There's new revelation, there's new prophets. Right? So therefore, why then many jinn, they become Muslim. وَأَنَّا مِنَّا الصَّالِحُونَ وَمِنَّا دُونَ ذَلِكَ كُنَّا طَرَائِقَ قِدَدًا.
And among us are the righteous, and among us are others, not so. We were of divided ways. This means that each group takes a totally different course from the other, and the two paths do not meet. They go on to explain their own beliefs after they have accepted the divine faith.
Yeah. So jinn now admitted that among the jinn, there are Muslim and non-Muslim. Good Muslim, bad Muslim. They seem like us. Right? And also, jinn also have different madhab. You know, like we have Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali. Jinn also, they have different. Right? Are also jinn, some jinn, they are maybe scholar, some jinn just regular, right? But there's no prophet from jinn. They call al-mundirin, the one just warning the other, right? Some jinn, you know, evil, dolimun, fasikun, it seems like we found in the Quran the word munafiqun, you know, muslimun, salihun, is the same. Kunna tara'iqa qidada. Right, we are divided into a different way. Yeah, do they fight? Yes, sometimes they fight one another also. You know, because of different opinion. I don't know if they are fight about Taraweeh, you know, 8 rakat, 20 rakat. We don't know. Private kunut. We didn't know information. But this is from jinn. They admitted that among us good and bad. Remember, I mentioned last time about a man who was possessed by a woman, jinn. So now the man talk like woman. And the sheikh was talking to that jinn. He said, what's your name? He said, my name Murjana. He said, are you Muslim? I said, yeah. Hey, why are you bothering this man? Do you know that bothering people is haram? I know, you know, but this man going to marry, I don't want to let him marry. So the jinn fall in love with that person. Yeah. وَأَنَّا ظَنَنَّا أَن لَّن نُّعْجِزَ اللَّهَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَن نُّعْجِزَهُ هَرَبًا.
And we have become certain that we can never frustrate Allah on earth, nor can we frustrate, i.e. escape Him, by flight. They know God's power. They know they can never escape from Him or what He wills for them. They cannot elude Him on earth, nor can they elude Him by running away from earth. Thus, they acknowledge their weakness before the Creator.
Yeah, so this is also a statement from jinn. After they learn from the Quran, they meet Muhammad SAW, they're listening, you know, maybe they join the class, you know, during the Salah time. So they know now that Allah SWT is powerful. Before, maybe he feel that I can fly, I can go whatever. But no, he said, oh man, nobody can defeat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and nobody can escape from Allah's punishment. Right? So the difference between us and jinn, you know, according to the Quran, as soon as they hear from Rasulullah SAW, they practice it. And then not only that, they convey the message to their people. Ya qawmana ajibu. Oh, my people, respond to the calling of this new prophet. Right? Yeah, how many of us, you hear khutbah Jum'ah or class, and you come home, you compare to your family. And many of us, when you went out, then you come home and there's accident in 405. Honey, do you know what happened in 405 today? You just tell everything what happened. But you come from the class, for example, Islamic knowledge, you don't want to convey for 1, 2, 3 words. You say, oh, today Sheikh talked about jinn. And this. We never do that. It's very important. Be like jinn. So therefore, why is it the jinn, the who become following Muhammad is becoming increase? Right? And I mentioned last time that even many of the Imam, they have student of jinn. They have class for jinn, like Imam Malik. Right? He have a class for jinn also. وَأَنَّا لَمَّا سَمِعْنَا الْهُدَىٰ آمَنَّا بِهِ فَمَن يُؤْمِن بِرَبِّهِ فَلَا يَخَافُ بَخْسًا وَلَا رَهَقًا.
And when we heard the guidance, i.e. the Quran, we believed in it, and whoever believes in his Lord will not fear deprivation or burden. This is what everyone who hears divine guidance should do. What they heard was the Quran, but here they call it the guidance, confirming its nature and outcome. They follow this by a statement confirming their absolute trust in God.
Allah. This is another story gives that. وَأَنَّا لَمَّا سَمِعْنَا الْهُدَىٰ. When we heard the guidance, when we heard the Quran, Muhammad, آمَنَّا بِهِ. We directly believe. Right? So there is different type of guidance Allah gives to us. This one called guidance bayaniyah, guidance by explanation, guidance by proof. Right? For example, you read Quran, you listen to the lecture, and you guide it. Right? And that's good. And it's very important sometimes also. I would like to share a story about a young man. He was far away from Islam. He said he went to France, he went to Bangkok. His father is rich man. So he always asking money, and he thought himself he went for good thing. Even sometimes he lies that I'm going to Makkah, but he went to Bangkok, right? So anyway, but his mother was noticed that. Until one day he come home and he can see that his son was like drunk, abused drug and all this. But his mother, mashallah, is very good mother. He not yell at him, and he didn't wake up for Fajr. So one day, he won something from his mother, money or something. He said, look, I'll give you whatever you want, but I want to listen to this cassette. Then I give you, okay, mom, cassette, easy. And he was listening. And that cassette, one of Sheikh, he able to guide him through Quran, Hadith, the story, the severity of Allah punishment and all. And he was crying. And then he killed his mother and hugged mother. Mom, thank you very much. Mom, if I'm dying, khalas, I'm scared. And then the mother gave another cassette. And he's listening again. So anyway, so until he become, mashallah, pious man, always come to masjid, you're helping his mother, he do, business, anything, but mashallah, he's istiqomah because of these two cassettes. How do we know this story? And then the young man, he wrote a letter to that Sheikh. Sheikh, I know you don't know what happened, but thank you very much. I was guided by your cassette. just continue to do your job. I don't know. So sometimes, don't underestimate any effort. If you see people on the wrong way, try to remind them with anything, with a story, Sometimes I went to some place, one time I went to Dallas, somebody hugged me, said, thank you, Imam. I said, what? Remember that email, maybe 5 years ago you sent me? Changed my life. I didn't know that, right? Maybe you also. You have good story and you send it in WhatsApp, in Facebook, maybe you can change somebody's life. Just do something. Don't ignore them. Also, when you see people went wrong, don't angry at them or show them, not friendly, you go to hellfire. No, we have to have more kind to them. They need you. Because if you see a religious person, frown, angry, they will run away. Because some Muslim misunderstood, when you become religious, you become rigid. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Right? No, it used to be different. So that's one type of hidayah. But sometimes Allah SWT give hidayah through something severe. There's hadith, he said Allah SWT drag people into Jannah by change. What do you mean? Allah tests him with many times of calamities. Suddenly he becomes sick, he lost his job, his business bankrupt and all, right? And then he come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's also hidayah. Did you hear some people, sometimes they become good Muslim because he lot of suffering in his life? Sometimes Allah do opposite. Allah gives someone more and more and more, hoping that when Allah bless them with that thing, they're thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they become good Muslim. Right? So there's three types of hidayah. Hidayah by proof, by guidance, by Quran, Hadith. Hidayah by putting a person in trouble, in difficulties. There's also hidayah something. Or Allah give everything in one. And then he grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he become good Muslim. They spend the blessing to the other also. Yeah. وَأَنَّا مِنَّا الْمُسْلِمُونَ وَمِنَّا الْقَاسِطُونَ فَمَنْ أَسْلَمَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ تَهَرَّوْا رَشَدًا.
And among us are Muslims in submission to Allah. And among us are the unjust. And whoever has become Muslim, those have sought out the right course. The way this sentence is phrased suggests that to be guided to Islam, a person needs to be very careful and meticulous in seeking proper guidance. It also implies a conscious choice of what is right, based on careful study and clear vision.
So now again, JINN now describe about how JINN life. He said, among us a Muslim, submission to Allah, mean good Muslim. But among us is not. Right? So good Muslim, bad Muslim. So we learn from here also that JINN also like us, mukallaf. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala order them to do this, to do this. And also JINN like us. Some will go to hellfire, some go to Jannah. Right? Sometimes I was thinking, when we go to Jannah and we meet JINN, how look like will be, we don't know. Right? Of course, maybe in Jannah, JINN will be transformed like us. Remember that Rasulullah said, when people enter Jannah, become young again. Right? Men like 30. And then woman 19, 18. Imagine you go to Jannah, you see your wife 19 again. Right? Allah. Is this you? Right? And Jannah, there will be no more sick, no more sadness, everything is beautiful. Now, I believe that JINN also maybe will be the same, right? They're going to, yeah. So therefore, why is it Very important. And before I continue, you know, people was sometimes, how come Iblis, they know Allah, they know hellfire, they know Jannah, they know the truth, right? And then they disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? But you know, not only Iblis, you know, many people, the same like Iblis. If you ask Muslim, do you believe in God? Yeah. Do you believe in Jannah? Yeah. Hellfire? Yeah. They do everything. Right? They don't deny by the heart. But when you look at their action, look like they didn't believe it. In order to go to Jannah, what you have to do, you have to pray 5 times a day by Sunday, fast Ramadan. You have to be nice to your parents. You have to be honest, be truthful, right? Don't oppress people. How many people, Muslims didn't pray, didn't fast, drink alcohol, using riba and forex, right? So therefore the Quran said, yukadzibun, that they denied. Not deny by the heart, by the action, right? If for example, there's water, I say, oh, this water, like, I drink it. I say, what's this? This is a poison. Right? If I drink it, what does it mean? You don't believe it. But not by heart. I know what you say, I believe. But by drinking it, that means, yeah. وَأَمَّا الْقَاسِطُونَ فَكَانُوا لِجَهَنَّمَ حَطَبًا.
But as for the unjust, they will be for hell firewood. Their fate is settled. They will become the fuel of hell, and it will rage even more fiercely when they are cast into it. This confirms that the jinn are also punished in hell. It similarly implies that the good among them are destined for heaven.
Heaven, yeah. So this is the life of people. So when you look at how jinn described to us, that means what? Jinn like us, their life like us, right? That means some jinn will go to Jannah, some jinn will go to the hellfire. So therefore, why there is surah, Allah addressed to both of them. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا two, both men and jinn, right? The angels and devil, shaitan, they just one place, the hellfire. The angel always in Jannah. The angel going to serve us in Jannah. But men and jinn, some will be good to Jannah, some will go to hellfire. Yeah. So we learn from here also, that means you have to be careful, right? That may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explain about the destiny of jinn also is talk about us, right? Because among us, there are good Muslim, bad Muslim, right? If you are bad Muslim, try to recover before it's too late. Yeah, yeah. And the last one, this is dua. Remember that it is true, you know, we are more intelligent. When it comes to wisdom, we are more wise than jinn. Yeah, yes, jinn physically they are stronger. So therefore, when people possessed by jinn, they can carry something that impossible when they are is normal, right? But when it comes to intelligence, we are more than. But in the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned also in the Quran, yeah, massa. The word massa means something affected with jinn, possessed by jinn. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a remedy, give us way how to protect jinn. Right? This is one of the way, right? Yeah. So, for example, somebody said, "You mean I think I possessed by jinn?" What you can read, right? So first you read Surah Al-Fatiha, Ikhlas, Falak, Nas, Ayat Kursi, and then in the end of Baqarah, and then you read this dua. You put your hand in his body and you say like this, Bismillahi urgika, min kulli shay'in yu'dhika, min sharri kulli nafsin aw ainin hasidin. Allah yasfika, Bismillahi urgika. Yeah, so?
With the name of Allah, I recite over you to cleanse you from all that troubles you and from every harmful mischief and from the evil of the eyes of an envier. Allah will cure you, and with the name of Allah, I recite over you.
Over you, yeah. So read 3 times, 7 times, right? Yeah. Or you can also, if this happened to you, you can feel it. But in the beginning, not always make conclusion. It's from jinn, right? So many times people come to me and say, Sheikh, I think I have certain thing, jinn or something. I said, no, maybe. And I found out after discovery that, I don't see any sign. But, maybe you'll be affected jinn because you're scared. Jinn very happy when somebody is scared, right? He said, jinn come to somebody when he was very distressed. So be careful. You can distress something, said, yes, it's okay, somebody you lost money. But if too much, then he will come to you. Or you always very scared, worried, right? Even if you one day affected, you can say, hey, you will not affect me. I have Allah with me. And then you read Kursi on all this. Yeah. Yeah. So inshallah, that's for today. We discussed about different type of jinn, and jinn try to listening the comprehension. So now everything that jinn tell fortune teller is what in their memory in the past. Nothing new because they didn't know any information, right? So don't believe. And also it is forbidden for Muslim to go to the fortune teller or magician. Yeah. So inshallah, we will continue next week. Any question?
I have a question. If you are reading the Quran at home in English so you can understand, still shaitan will go away? Or it has to be in Arabic?
Yeah, to understand, yeah. But to kick out jinn, have to be in Arabic.
Okay.
Right. So you can say, for example, Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. I seek refuge from Allah of the dawn. Right? Because Quran was revealed in Arabic, and the effect also, even you don't understand, is very powerful. Right? Because as we know, all the sheikh in any country, when they try to cure somebody, they always use Arabic, right? And also translation can be changed. How to translate Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim? In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most kind. No, I don't like that. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate. Can be, right? The most merciful. So everybody had to give also different translation. But Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is God's word. That's the difference between Quran and the other book. Brother Sham, if you go to China, right? You go to church, people will pray, right? What language they pray? Chinese. Right? But if you're Muslim, you go to masjid in China, what you say? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. The same word we hear here, we hear everywhere.
I went there and it is true.
So, yeah, beautiful. Maybe the difference is the slang, not the same language. That's the beauty of how Quran had to be in the same language. Yeah. Alhamdulillah hamdan yuafi ni'amak wa ya rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi jalaluka wa adimi sultanik. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad ajma'in. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa qina adhaban nar. Allahumma inna na'udzu bika min الشيطان من الجن وإبليس من كل شيء. اللهم اجعل خير أمرنا آخره وخير عملنا خواتمه وخير أيامنا يوم نلقاك فيه إنك على كل شيء قدير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحانك وبحمدك لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله.